My favorite moment in the movie? One of Shah Rukh Khan's last lines about his gorgeous hair. Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage. I have reviewed more than 400 indie movies on the channel, but something I haven't done before was watching a big Shah Rukh Khan film on the big screen. I mean, we have seen Brahmastra, but he only had a small role in that one. Almost like he was teasing his actual comeback, which is of course Pathaan. A big and ludicrous action spy thriller that doesn't aim to be anything but plain and simple fun. It was directed by Siddharth Anand and it's the fourth installment in the so-called YRF spy universe. But the very first entry with Shah Rukh Khan in the lead. For a lot of people, Pathaan is more than just a movie. It's more like a celebration of the return of one of their favorite stars of all time. For me, it was a little celebration of seeing him in the lead on the big screen for the first time. And it was pretty awesome because the cinema I went to even changed the cinema hall to a bigger one a few days ago after the pre-sales were apparently much stronger than what they expected. My theater wasn't completely full, but probably about 2/3. And while it wasn't that thunderous atmosphere I was hoping for, it was a nice mood nonetheless. As for the movie itself, well, it was a lot of fun and pretty much like I expected. Or actually, in some regards it was better. It has a lot of that pretty dumb and pretty weightless CGI heavy action stuff that can be cool, but sometimes it's just silly and not much else. But what holds it together is the commitment and panache of these actors. I expected Shah Rukh Khan to be great, to really give a charismatic and swagger heavy but still kind of adoring performance. He's someone where you can really feel how much he loves his fans and how much he wants them to have a good time with his movies. But I didn't expect the rest of the cast to be this great as well. I think this was my first exposure to John Abraham, the action star. I mean, I have seen him in a very different role in Deepa Mehta's Water, but that's a very different film. He plays the antagonist with the menacing name Jim, and he has so much fun in the role. It's a blast to watch him really amping up his performance. It's that over-the-top evilness that you like to see in an action movie like this. I was also happy that Deepika Padukone's role isn't just to look drop-dead gorgeous, which she easily does, but that she's also in on the action. And I really enjoyed it so much when she had to do all the heavy lifting, while Shah Rukh Khan's Pathaan was tied up and not able to join the fun. Well, he had fun watching, and so do we. And honestly, I liked it quite a bit how the movie's only real song and dance number, apart from the other one that's playing during the end credits, is integrated into the narrative. I mean, it still serves more of an outer narrative purpose in that big movies like this kind of have to have at least one kind of item song, and it's of course a very exploitative, sexy dance number showcasing the phenomenal body of our lead actress. But in an action movie like this that also showcases these spectacular male bodies, and Shah Rukh Khan really is in the shape of his life here, it's perfectly fine to give the audience just some beautiful people to look at. But coming back to the narrative purpose. While I find the song itself pretty unremarkable, I liked how it illustrates Pathaan's arrival at that place and how he gets closer to Deepika Padukone's character, which then leads to one of the movie's best and most fun sequences, I think. Shah Rukh Khan and her also have a pretty good chemistry, and it's just nice to see them both together. Which kind of excuses the fact that their whole Moscow adventure is pretty silly nonsense. I mean, some of it is really fun. There's for example an awesome reference to Shah Rukh Khan's iconic film Dar, which I just watched a week ago and I was so happy that I did. Because not only did I love it, but now I could also understand the reference. And it makes me wonder just how many other references there are in all these movies that totally go over our heads. It's also a reminder just how far Shah Rukh Khan has come in his career that now spans more than 30 years. There are a few other very obvious but cool meta elements, in which it becomes obvious that it's not meant to be so much about Shah Rukh Khan's character, but more about Shah Rukh Khan, the actor and star. For example, when someone tells him that he has been away too long and that it's time to go to work. And speaking about that certain someone who tells him that, easily one of the most fun cameos I have ever seen. The entire sequence is completely over the top, and in the framework of the entire story it's also not all that important, but Pathaan in general is more like a succession of silly but also mostly fun action set pieces that are held together by these strong performances. And speaking about strong performances, Deepika Padukone is also pretty good as one of Pathaan's superiors, and it was her shining moment in the second half that really got to me. I mean, it was loaded with pathos, but she made it work. And when Pathaan works, then it works in the territory of movies that aren't taking themselves too seriously. The terrorist villain who wants to seek revenge and make whole countries kneel, the super spy who has to travel the world, find some technological MacGuffin accompanied by a beautiful woman. It's certainly reminiscent of Mission Impossible or the Bond movies. But it's more the 90s Pierce Brosnan over-the-top Bond movies than the grittier Daniel Craig stuff. It's more like Fast and the Furious or The Expendables. It tries to give us some character motivation, and while it's thin, it's enough for this kind of movie. But also nothing new. The whole story and its twists and turns are all very formulaic, and one shouldn't expect to be on the edge of your seat or anything with this. The story is mostly functional, and I was a bit disappointed about what they are doing with Deepika Padukone's character. I don't want to spoil it, but it felt a little bit like a cop-out to me, and I thought there was potential for a more emotional direction there. The action itself is fine, but also mostly too fake for getting me really involved or anything. There are some cool things in there for sure, and again, these actors make it work, but for me being really invested, I just need more from either the story and characters or from the physicality and reality of the action and stunt work. But whenever we leave the decent close combat fight scenes, it doesn't take long before a lot of CGI gets involved. And some of it looks pretty rough. And oftentimes less would have been more, and especially in the finale, there wasn't really a big payoff for having that wooden house crumble under the brawl of our two big muscle guys. There's still enough there to make you smile and maybe even fist bump your neighbor, but it always stays in that lane where you might ask yourself, what the hell you are even watching right now? But the movie knows what it is and doesn't pretend otherwise. And like I said earlier, I was actually surprised by these performances and how that adds a lot of flavor and energy to the mix. I would probably not watch this again, but I had a good time at the theater. And I'm happy Shah Rukh is back. And maybe I should say a few more words about him, because he's obviously the main and special ingredient that makes this movie. From the moment he appears on the screen, you just get why he's such a big and beloved star. He has both a larger-than-life screen presence and at the same time this charming, everyday, boyish appeal. He's already in his 50s now, but he still has some of that innocence. And when he gets betrayed by someone or when he gets pushed into a corner and his eyes tear up, you just feel for him. He plays a cold-blooded killer here, and it's certainly one of those action movies in which people are just cannon fodder, and yet Shah Rukh Khan is injecting some humanity and warmth into it, just by his personality. This also helps a lot that it doesn't just turn into this cool action hero guy stuff where it's just about a muscle-packed guy being cool and nothing else. With Shah Rukh Khan, there's a sweet irony and little vulnerability there as well. So in German I'd say, der König ist zurück, und Pathaan ist zwar im Grunde ein ziemlich blödsinniger Action Quatsch, aber die Schauspieler sind auch einfach verdammt charismatisch und das Ganze irgendwo doch auch ein ganz netter Spaß. I give Pathaan, I don't know, 6? 7? Something like that. It's more like 6.5, but I don't do that. Alright, that's it like always. Comment below and let me know what you think about Pathaan. You can hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd and also on Patreon, simply at @JimmyCage. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And make sure you hit that bell for all I have to tell.